Hello friends, Tank here, and welcome to my first Gunpla video. If you don't know what Gunpla is, it stands for Gundam Plastic Model, and so they call it Gunpla. That's how I've learned it. Gundam is a anime. It's been around over 40 years, I think 45 now, and they have a new release on Netflix, which is kind of a more advanced animation. My first introduction to Gundam anime was through the free Hulu version years ago, and it was the MS 8th edition of the Universal Centuries timeline. And then I watched, I don't remember exactly which one, but it was a different story and had nothing to do with the UC, so I was kind of confused about the different timelines. But since have gone back and watched the original from the early 80s and in the 90s, and I kind of understand the UC, Universal Century timeline, the AW timeline, and the I think the CE time. There's all these different timelines of Gundam. My favorite is the Universal Century. These two Gunpla models are from the Universal Century, and this was the first one I bought, which is the MS-06FZ Zaku 2 from the Xeon guys, I guess, the out in the colonies. And the second one, oh, and I got this at Hobbyholics in Garden Grove. Really recommend it. Guy's really knowledgeable. He was very upfront with me and told me that this is an older model. Its number in the series is 087, and so it's a very old design, not as nice as the new ones. But I wanted to start with an older model just to kind of get my experience of what it was like when I guess they first started. And this one I picked up at Tokyo Central in San Diego just the other day. I mean, what would Gundam collection be like without the RX-78, right? This one is number 191 in the series, so it's a little bit newer. I don't think it's the first RX-78 edition. Probably not with that number. So I've picked those up, and I wish I had all the different YouTubers mentioned. Hopefully going forward I will mention them with all the different tips that I have picked up watching these YouTubers on Gunpla. So my setup here is pretty inexpensive and basic. I picked up a simple cutting mat on Amazon, really generic. It was about like $9. Thanks to Barbatos Rex on YouTube and his video on nippers, 20 nippers being compared to the top of the line God hands, I chose the Wise Pro model here. Excuse me. Came in this case with a holster or sheath, or what do you want to call this? Kind of a vinyl thing. And it came with a bottle you can add oil to keep your nippers lubricated and moving well. With his, I took his advice, and instead of spending $40-ish for the Godhead nippers, he recommended a few different models in the 29-26 range. This was in the 29 range, but I was able to get it for 26 on Amazon. I guess the price went down, so I chose these. For simple double-sided nippers, I found these at Harbor Freight for $2.99. I don't know how those are going to work, but we'll see. And my wife picked me up this really nice caddy for my brushes and pens and the eraser. Picked up a few different Mr. Color paints over at Tokyo Central the other day when I was in San Diego. And I picked this knife set up at Harbor Freight. This was like $16. Picked up this lamp from Harbor Freight. It's nice, bright, and it has a magnifier because I am like 55 years old and have old eyes. and I need to see things that are small, and it doesn't really work. Also from the dollar store, I just picked up this simple toolbox that I keep a few other things in there, some sanding sticks. I guess that's everything. This setup. Oh, I have a monitor here just so I can hook up my laptop if I want to look at things and refer to things when I'm working, or maybe listen to music or watch videos. And that's pretty much my setup. I haven't started on anything yet. I've just got my stuff set up. I probably need to get a few different more things together. I do have some sandpaper, some sanding sticks. I just didn't show them because it's just, everybody knows what that is. If you have any advice for me, please comment below. I know this is a pretty basic setup compared to a lot of you guys out there, but I'm just starting. I haven't really painted or built models in quite a while. I built my first model in the 70s, and I did dioramas in the 80s and in the 90s, and then, well, maybe the 80s. Not so much in the 90s because I started having kids. And so, I did build a model with my daughter, and I did do dioramas with my son, but that was for him and not for me. So this is for me. Kind of excited, and thanks for watching.